What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. All sorts of Zoom issues today. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening, but I think we're up and running. You guys can hear me? Hit a quick one in the chat if you guys can hear me. If we're good. They were saying there was a mic issue, and then had to scramble at last minute, just restart the whole computer, and we got it. I think. All right, I see the ones popping in. We're all good now. I think we're set. But let's see. One in the chat if you guys. Oh, nope, not there yet. There we go. Now we should be good. We should be good. Other than that, short Zoom. I do use a Mac, so I'm gonna probably short Apple today as well, just out of spite, really. We got Alan in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, Albert, Andy, Bill, Brad, Daniel. We got Darren in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, Dragon, Frank, Jeff, Joe, Keith, Kevin, Lauren, Lucian, Martina, Michael, Ray, Rick, Rob's in the house. Good morning to Robert. We got Russ, Tim, UV, Virginia, all my people out in YouTube land. You guys almost didn't make the cut, YouTube. Jenny, sorry, you almost didn't make the cut. Yeah, that was the second issue. I couldn't get YouTube started, but we're here. We did it. All my largers in the background of YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. But SPY gapping up to all-time highs because that's just what happens in 2025. All-time highs. I didn't really see any crazy news. I knew Oracle kind of popped again. Tesla up a little bit. Just everything, just that momentum, the momentum force just absolutely flying bullish still until tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big day. We'll see what happens. Even that we don't really hear. We don't really see the notes or the pre-written statements till 2 o'clock, and then we hear Jerome Powell at 2:30 tomorrow. So that gives us a full trading day today and most of tomorrow. And it doesn't seem like we are panicking at all into Jerome Powell for tomorrow. We do have a little bit of a retest gap for today, so gapping into again all-time highs. If you owned any shares of SPY ever, you're profitable. You've made money. You've done it. Even if that was a very late comer into the market and just buying yesterday, you're still positive on that position. Retest gap for sure. Look for some kind of support if we want to come down. But 660.38 would be your retest spot. We'll see how that wants to hold. Again, heading into tomorrow. Maybe somebody wants to take some gains. Doesn't look like it. On the Qs, just absolutely rallying as well. 1, 2, 3 bullish days in a row. Where's that week look like? The week, this one's still open right now. You got some still big weeks, but smaller, smaller, smaller. We'll see if we'll see how this week ends up closing, but we have still another 4 days, so that's not a bad way to start a week. Other than that, targets to the higher side, I've got nothing. Again, this is a retest gap, and I'd be looking for 590.56. So for me, I think buy the dip still makes sense. I don't think I want to change how that looks quite yet until we get some new developments in the market and a reason as to why to go short. But otherwise, it's just there's really no reason fundamentally to short the market except for maybe it has to pull back or just feels uncomfortable going long. I think that's the only real true emotion kind of affecting the markets. But other than that, the catalysts are all bullish still. We got Bitcoin kind of back into a little flag pattern. So again, makes sense to pause here a little bit. We have a little kind of, I guess, bull flag happening on Bitcoin at the moment. We'll see which way we actually break out of this. We did this yesterday. This right around here is your 50% retracement of this down move that we had. So getting a little hesitation here makes a lot of sense. And if we could break bullish, we start getting really above this point. Any candles that close, we actually retested into it today already. But if we could get a close above 15,971, we'll just call it 116. That to me looks like we're going to break bullish, maybe run into that 618. Otherwise, I don't really have too much else. There's resistance at 116,746, and the next real resistance for Bitcoin is about 117.70. If we break down 2 days ago or Friday, yeah, Monday. Monday wasn't a fantastic close. Still in the realm, but most of the volume came to the shorter end. So the fact that we're above that watch for 114,885. If we start to break that, there will be some supports lower into the 114 zone, but that wouldn't be a boost of confidence if we end up taking out that VPOC from yesterday. Other than that, we are gapping above it. We're staying strong for the moment. That one kind of brings me to, I don't know if it's my favorite gap or favorite play of the day because I didn't look at all the stocks. I've only looked at some scrolling through the list before I had to panic and restart my entire computer. But Coinbase today, I think, looks really interesting. Uh, this is the second time we're up here. So again, we kind of made that little retest. We kind of bull trap people above this high volume candle. Still stayed within that range. Built a nice little support. The close yesterday was okay. Wasn't fantastic. We're still making a higher trend in VPOC, so still bidding everything higher. I like this open a lot. We've been looking at, and again for today, who knows how far this thing is going to run. I got 337.04. I got a big target up at, well, I guess your next one we can't ignore is 343.87. Then I think we got a big target into like this 351.79. Again, I don't know about today. That seems pretty far. And then ultimately this 370 zone would close that gap up for me, if not even a tad higher, which would take us into almost 382.11. So I think we have a lot of room, but I like this gap. Probably see if I get a little pullback first, get some better risk reward into the actual trade itself. But that's opening in a really, really interesting area for me. So I do have that number one on the list. Let's see what tickers you guys got, and maybe there's one that I like more than Coinbase, but I'm definitely gonna be watching Coin today. Amazon is also, I think, too. Coinbase might be. I think crypto, and again, we just looked at that Bitcoin flag. If we do get the lower interest rates, I think that is good for crypto. And again, that might just eventually bleed itself into Coinbase as well. You got Amazon is nice little gap up, still inside day candle, technically. Let's see if we get a pullback. First spot, I don't think we get great risk reward if we just stop at 233.03. The next spot is slightly better, 232.74. Full on retest would probably take us into this 231 zone, but it looks decent. We still have some room to the higher side, which would take me to about 234.42, and then maybe into this 234.86. I think we have a little bit more room to the downside than to the higher side. It's obviously a bullish gap, though. Unless you think we could take that out. If you think we could take that out, your next target probably 236.46, and you get okay. I'd still want some small pullback at that point. Let's play it like this. If I think we could hit 236.46 and there's a lot of resistance in the way, I'd be okay taking a shot somewhere around 232.74 if we get there. If I think that resistance is going to hold us up for today, I'm going to need a bigger pullback into 231.72. But other than that, it looks like it's still trending bullish. I think buying the dips, I just want to see that dip come in first. We got Palantir. Mm, it's the resistance for me. Um, it's gapping down today. If we could get back above 170.91, you have your next resistance right at this 171.78, and we've hit that already. So maybe we could take that out, break through it. That would put my target at 172.94. That could happen today if we could actually get some buying. Inside day candle, I think looking for a 170.19 type support. I'm gonna add a little alert to that. If we come back into that zone, I think you have decent risk reward on the trade. We were able to close above yesterday's resistance. I think buying the dip on this one could make sense too. As soon as you start dropping past 170.19, really that 170 zone, there's a lot of room to the downside as well. So I wouldn't be too surprised or wouldn't mind getting too aggressive with the stops at that point. if they're going to let that slip. But 170.19 should be a decent spot. Pretty good close yesterday. I think looking for some continuation today could make sense. This one also could just chop around if the market does nothing, and it's possible that we don't really see too much volatility today. We'll see. Just ahead of a big news event that people have literally been waiting for 10 months for. Um, to have a little pause in the market ahead of that, I think could make sense. Palantir might just chop in the zone, but I think the closest of going to try to buy the dip, 170.19 would be your spot. And then I'd be a little concerned if it starts to break through that one. Shopify. Mustafa's in the house. What's up, Mustafa? State of Lawn. Leonardo. We got Shopify is opening right into resistance. Retest gap into resistance. It looks like it's trying to get a little higher than that resistance for right now. So not a bad open. I think your target to a bullish direction, if we continue, would take us into 194.98. I think that takes away a lot of the potential room on this one. Plus, I think if you held it through yesterday, pretty great day for Shopify yesterday. We opened in kind of just a chop zone, nothing too special. We did get past that first resistance, and you'd have another resistance 146.27. We blew past that. We blew past 146.73. We got a close above that. You got your volume VPOC above all that. Really good sentiment for Shopify. I don't like that we're opening right into resistance, and you have another pretty strong resistance right above you, and a lot of people profitable from yesterday. I think if this one goes up higher, and the market looks like it wants to break down, maybe a retest to the short side on this one. Targets on this would take me into 146.93, but we will have to break down through 148.96 first, which should be a little support. So high wave candle, shoot up first right into that 150 zone, and then kind of throw a bull trap candle. That could be playable. Don't know if it's a free falling stock. Sentiment does look good in a bullish direction. We got HIMS. A little bit more room to the downside. It is a gap and go for today, but just inside day still. The closest, if you want to short this, I would need good risk reward. Yesterday was really just an inside day candle, just a resting candle after a phenomenal day on HIMS from Friday. We still have room higher. We did get into that first resistance. I think your next target on this one in a bullish direction takes us to takes us to 57.39. I think that would be a strong resistance for today. That being said, you did have a little element of a bull trap from yesterday. I don't think it matters too much. There's 2 days of people being profitable, plus anybody buying it from September 2nd on. So anywhere from the beginning of this month till pretty much yesterday, there's people still kind of profitable in this one. What will make this an interesting short is your targets to the downside takes you to about I don't know why I keep throwing $100 in front of everything. Takes you to $51.69, and your short spot if you want to try it short. There's really not a lot holding it up, except for that momentum that came in 2 days ago, Friday. But the closest you could short to $55, I think the better your stop. You're going to want probably somewhere above 55.83. I would even not mind throwing my stop above the high of yesterday if I could get a really good price on my short. Other than that, that is Friday's candle. Really good bullish sentiment. I think this is just kind of chilling. It does have room to the downside. I don't think I'd play this one short. I think I'd be more interested in buying a dip off of the 51.77 for me personally. So I don't know. It's kind of in a weird spot. That looks like just a relaxing candle. It is a gap and go, but I would need some strong reason as why I should buy it here, and I don't have that yet. So I would have to pass on this one and let it do its thing, and then I would come back to it. I think for me, PayPal. PayPal, just been chilling in the $67 range. You got not a great candle, not really a fantastic candle on September 10th. That Wednesday, we are trying to trying to save a little face on this one. As long as we stay above this 66.39, um, then we're above kind of that breakdown candle, which is good. Now the next thing we have to get a close, which we have not done, above the opening price. That could set this up where it looks a little more trappy. Other than that, lots of pressure to the downside. Slightly impressed at yesterday's close. So I would have a very good support now at 67.15. I'd probably stay bullish on this one, hesitantly. But it looks like it is. Let me actually do a fib on this. And I own, again, full disclosure, I own PayPal long term. But in a shorter term trends, questionable. We got very, very close to that 618 retracement on that little breakdown of good support. Maybe this could be a bounce spot longer term for PayPal, but I don't think it's going to be easy. Uh, Even on the way up on this one, you're gonna have to fight a lot of new resistance and moving averages you got to fight through. For today, I like it long. Targets on this one would take me to 67.49. We did get through that yesterday. You got 67.87. Maybe we could get to like back to 68.21 in a bullish direction if we could stay above the last 3 days of epochs. Uh, but that longer term trend is still down. I'd expect probably more chop than anything else for today on PayPal. So nothing too clear cut. Oracle, if I spell it correctly, ORCL. There we go. Yeah, I think this was a little pullback. I think in a longer term aspect, Oracle probably goes higher, like much higher. I think they set themselves up to do really well if they're what they say in terms of their expectations remotely comes true. This will probably longer term be about 3x, I think, just based on their numbers. Now the question is, did they set themselves up to fail? We have to see a couple more earnings reports in a longer term sense to see if their numbers are anywhere matching up to their expectations. Last quarter or this quarter didn't really do so good. It was more off their comments. But other than that, I think you have a lot of momentum in this one. Really interesting spot for this open, and it has a ton of room higher. So that would take us back to like 328. I think this is a good one to put on the watch list for today. I would stay bullish above 312, let's call it 311.96. Anything past that, I'd be looking for a bigger pullback into like this 302 again, but or at least retest this 306.34. So I'd like it bullish at open. I think there's a lot of room. Psychological levels for today would take us into this 319.34. Otherwise, I think your pure target on this one takes you to 328.83. And with that kind of gap, I think that is a resistance that will get taken out. And next real psychological level, somewhere in this 330.23. I think that could get taken out as well. So I do like it long term. It's already gapping up about from now, $11. I think we're a little bit higher pre-market. But stay above this 312 zone. If we could do that, I like Oracle. I wouldn't mind trying. It's definitely got some room in it. And we'll see how this one wants to act at open. AMD. Leonard wants to see that one as well. Perfect. We got AMD is it showed a little strength comparative to Nvidia yesterday. I like that. I think it's opening in a really good location. Um, Inside day, just be careful on that inside day, right at the 20 EMA. If we get a pullback, watch 161.43. If we could hold that, or you get a quick drop and then the candle closes as a hammer, I might look to take that. I think you got your next target. Well, you can have a little resistance, probably about 162.39. Not sure how strong that's going to be. And then next target back to this like 162.98 zone. If we cannot hold this 161.43, I'd be a little more patient, see if we can get closer to a long, somewhere around 160.54. But very good open for AMD. I don't think they're going to make it easy just being the fact it's inside day. But again, if that one pulls back, does a cool looking high wave hammer, I could get in somewhere above 160, 143, or we could look at some pre-market levels as well. Something above that. This market is uh pretty quick to act. So at open on that bell, you get big candles in every direction. Uh, we've noticed that a lot more probably in the last month and a half than we've seen. Probably more. Well, I guess the entire summer, mostly. I can't remember back to like February and well, February the market was crashing, weren't we? Or March, April. So we'll see. Other than that, really good open as long as we can open up here. TSM, TSM. There's an interesting gap into all-time highs. It's a retest gap from yesterday. I love the fact that we're above that high wave or wick. To me, on a longer term basis, looks higher for today. I don't think I'd be buying it here. I would need some kind of a. I think you get a little support. I don't know how well it's going to hold, but this 264.58. Otherwise, the closer to 261.22, I think the better. It might not happen today. It might take a day too. You also have a whole bunch of gaps under here as well. What would be a nightmare for Taiwan Semiconductor if this entire candle today turns into a bearish engulfing? I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be a strong sentiment that you're probably filling some gaps. 251.24. But we'll see how this one acts. I think the closer I could get to 261, that's pretty far away. Targets to the higher side were at all-time highs. I got no targets here. I think eventually we probably go higher. Today I'd be a little more interested in a fade if you hate money, I guess. But yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna short that one because it could definitely go higher. I just won't be a buyer up here. We'll watch that one though. FTNT. That one looks really interesting. Above the 20, you got plenty of room even into that 50 EMA. I think your target for today probably takes you to about 85.19. It is a retest gap from yesterday. This one might be one of those quick ones. I would imagine bears want to protect this spot. We'll see even where this one actually opens. Now you're kind of pushing right into that support. So anything below $80.92, I think you're looking to buy it closer to $80.61. If we get that open above $80.92, besides this one big psychological level, which we've almost been into, we've gotten there before, but that would take us into like anything above 81.29. I think this thing just rips. There's nothing holding us back. Um, yeah, I'm gonna add this one. We'll put this one up higher as well. Tons of room on it. Did anybody, by the way, we tried to trade QS at the open and they let us down for an R. But did anybody else try to trade that later in the day? Specifically, like when I was getting off the mic. And I was like, QS kind of looks a little bit interested when we were down here. I was like, this might be a good spot. And then it turned into like a 10-hour trade. It just kept going. QS for today is gapping down a little bit, just inside day. Let's see if we get a little bit bigger of a pullback. It surely did it yesterday. But man, pinpointing the low of that move was a monster yesterday. All right, let's see what else we got. Let me know if you guys got any other tickers. I think we're ran through the list. We don't have much time left either. Let's check out Apple real quick. Tesla. Let's go with Tesla. Tesla was gapping up a little bit today as well. Yeah, raise with me. Yeah, good $4 move. Look for resistance for today at 417.53. So there's your upside. Anything above that, I think you're looking at psychologically 423.14. Otherwise, I have this gray line from forever ago. I don't know what it's for. I don't know when I put it on, but you're opening right into a much bigger I put them there for volume purposes, but much bigger volume spot where we were slightly above it. So that's a really good sign for Tesla. But you do have slightly above you, still a lot of room, $3.50 to the higher side. If you can get up there. Other than that, you guys are fantastic in YouTube land. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already.